Growth Pod.
Stop being yourself. We're born to be great. Welcome back to another series of Growth Pod where growth, success, and dreams are made here. We have an amazing guest today, but before we get into that, an amazing shout out to our sponsors over at brianscaterino.com. Are you stuck? If you want to move forward in life, you don't know how to write goals or whatever it is, guys, check out my book. It's there. I have some great products, some free resources. Check it out. Link is below. Also, if you're stuck, not just stuck, but are you not feeling healthy? Are you going to the doctors a lot? Are you sneezing, sniffling, not losing weight? Or you just want to get more vegetables in your life? Guys, go ahead and check out Juice Plus. Link is below. Now, let's get into our podcast. Guys, Adam is a founder and CEO of the DIY Career Guy, career advisor, speaker, and organizational development expert. Adam, are you ready to help grow?
Yes.
So let's hear a brief description about yourself and a little about what you do.
So a little bit about myself. So I was a bit of a job nomad back in my 20s. I have 3 college degrees.
Oh, geez.
And a few very different jobs in between all the degrees. My original bachelor's is in PR. I have a master's degree in higher education counseling and career development, and then a second bachelor's in health and wellness management. I really didn't have a way to zero in on what I really wanted to do back in my 20s. I graduated in 2008, right at the heart of the recession. So those higher education counseling jobs were all frozen up. So I actually stayed up in my college town and worked for a family-run business, wearing multiple management hats, for 6.5 years, including business development, client management, and event coordination. And then back home here in Syracuse in upstate New York, I was at a bar watching a college basketball game. I ran into an old college friend who said that she started working for a new startup that was looking to build a account management team, to handle all the clients.
Okay, yeah.
And with my background, I entertained the idea, and the rest is history. After a couple interviews, they hired me. They brought me on board in a brand new department. At the time, the company was about 40 employees. I did that role. I traveled the country really well for about 15 months. And then with the crazy client growth we were experiencing, we had to hire a lot of people. And this was insane for a company of this size. We were hiring like 10 new people a week sometimes.
That means it was building, it was growing.
Yeah. And this is the real exciting part here is most of them were recent college graduates. So I got to utilize my master's degree kind of in real time because I had been well versed in all of the college career development trends. While in grad school, I was the grad assistant at the Career Center. So it was a good mix to work in a corporation that utilized my skills and my passion for career development, but also, I did that job, this new job that they kind of created for me, professional development coordinator, for over 2 years. And I built this whole platform from scratch. So new employee onboarding, I got to interact regularly with all the new hires. I put them through a full week of new hire training. And then I developed a lot of partnerships locally to do like leadership training, employee skill building, and in-house development. And it was a really exciting role. Like I loved it. Every day was
crazy.
Awesome.
A lot of stuff.
But here's the real point of where I got to today. I was in the role for just about 2 years, and I was very much an autonomous kind of entrepreneur, if you will. And then suddenly last December 1st, without any warning, I was pulled into my boss's office, the HR director, along with the vice president who hired me, and told my services were no longer needed and that they were going to part ways with me effective immediately. And I was shocked.
That's heart dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a lot of friends at the company, still do. I loved the job. So I'm at a crossroads, right, Brian? Because I'm either going to take that punch in the gut, accept it, be depressed, or option 2, take control of myself. All the knowledge I have in career development, all of the skills I have, I can do this myself. I said, I can build these programs for other organizations, other startups that need it, that don't have that expertise. And I could also focus on individual career development. So right after that happened, literally a week later, I purchased the domain DIY Career Guy, and I spent months building the website myself, hence DIY. I taught myself how to do some web design, got a graphic designer to build a logo, and fast forward now to the end of 2017, I find myself with a steady client base, both on the individual side and some private organizations. And I got big goals for 2018. So, it brings us to how we met and interacted online through an entrepreneur group.
That's great.
Really involved in those things. I'm, excited to continue the conversation.
Let's get it, Adam. So, I mean, clearly it was hard, that you got laid off and you had to grow a new trend. You had to be more creative about things, So let's get into our focus topic.
These business skills that I'm going to talk about with you are really just critical to stand out in a crowded world. There's a lot of clutter out there right now. There's super saturation in the business world, on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. Everybody's telling you the way it should be done to be successful in the workforce. Everybody has their own opinions and stories to tell. So you've got to really hone in on the business skills that work best for you to help you stand out.
So what are the 4 top trends you think that someone should focus on? Or 4 top trends now that are trending?
That's a good question. It's actually, I'm glad you brought it up because it's relevant to a topic I just had at a career fair up in my alma mater. I was asked at a career fair panel that same type of question. What are the skills that you're seeing? What are the trends you're seeing that people really need to focus on? And I think, related to my personal experience, number 1 is entrepreneurship. And I think this new buzzword, intrapreneur, is going to become a very highly touted skill at organizations. So intrapreneur is that internal kind of entrepreneur that works for the company, but is expected to be a real innovator and a creator of new ideas. So, really an autonomous way of becoming an entrepreneur yourself. That's the first one. Another one that's just huge at many young organizations, emotional intelligence. So you've probably heard it before, but what is emotional intelligence? That's really an individual's ability to become self-aware and recognize emotions as they're happening in the workforce, right? In real time. That's a skill, right? That you have to perfect through business experience. And I think one of the biggest things is self-regulation. So you're able to, in the moment, control your emotions when you're experiencing something, right? Whether it's turmoil in the office, joy of a new client, you're able to hold things in check, internally process, internally motivate, and become empathetic through your business skills. And it's really hard to teach that. There's trainings out there, but emotional intelligence is one of those internal things that you have to work on.
It's just something you have to develop, basically, guys. So you did mention entrepreneurship. I mean, I've seen a lot of different definitions of entrepreneurship, especially in the groups that we are in. What is your definition of entrepreneurship?
I think I said it in the group chat in our Facebook group. Entrepreneurship to me boils down to persistence. You are going to have macro, large, and micro, really small failures all the time. I mean, I've gone through the full spectrum already, with clients, with social media posts not being, really liked or engaged. Those are macro and micro type problems that great entrepreneurs just don't let them, beat it down and get to them. And they end up developing this persistent attitude that all of these things are happening to really strengthen my business acumen, right? Entrepreneurs that are successful the Mark Cubans, the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world, they will admit to all those failures and say they're glad they happened, right? So entrepreneurship to me is just being persistent, just continuing to roll with the punches.
Just to continue grinding. The 10X rule by Grant Cardone, guys. So what skills should a college student be focused on right now?
I think aside from entrepreneurship and emotional intelligence, critical thinking skills. So I was taught this way back in grad school by a professor. She said, what's going to help you stand out as a career counselor or, a mentor to somebody? Being able to, quote unquote, peel back the layers of the onion to uncover the real problems will help you come up with a better solution, right? So critical thinking skills, not just you're presented with a problem and you Google it. Like so many people just pull open and type in like, how do I do this? That really bothers me in the workforce because people are not thinking critically themselves how they can get to that solution, and managers can tell. The good managers out there and leaders, they will tell this person's not able to think critically through these things. So I think college students, you can do it right now in your class projects, your group projects. You can be that person that says, I'm going to do some more research on this topic. I'm going to try to peel back those layers. I think that's huge. So
that's
critical
huge, Adam. Yeah.
Put towards the top.
So basically, guys, he's not saying like don't research, these things. He means like don't just follow the examples they're giving, but try to figure out yourself how you can apply their work of knowledge into yours. So,
Yes.
Adam, funniest moment that led into a learning experience for you?
Yeah, this is this is something I just brought up with a friend the other day, and it's sort of dark and twisted. But
oh, geez, let's hear it.
It was It's funny now. It was really bad the day it happened. I was in shock. But the day that I was let go, last December 1st, right in the moment, they took my laptop, my key fob for entrance to the building, and all my keys to our other building right then and there. They made me just surrender it. And my boss was the HR director who was the one who let me go. And it was just like, wow, you're going to strip all that dignity right away from me.
Real quick.
Now it's funny because I got the last lap. I spent a lot of time building, like I told you, all those programs from scratch. And I was published. So I had a lot of written work. I had training plans. Well, in this digital age where everyone has all of their stuff in Google Drive and everything's digital, I got the last laugh because I had all of my research, all of my original work and program stuff printed out and filed on my desk. And those were file cabinets that I owned, that I brought in. So I had a friend who helped me out of the building with a cart full of all my work. So I think it's funny now because yeah, every business is digital, right? Everyone has like everything stored in the cloud, but I was able to walk away with all my work, and I could laugh about it now when I talk to friends because I'm like, I'm old school, man. I had all those things printed out.
That is pretty old school. Everything's about Google Docs now, or it could be on your phone, on the computer.
But if you get let go of your job without any notice, what are you going to do? You lost all that work.
Exactly. That's hilarious. So guys, print out your stuff and hide it, basically. So Adam, let's get into our lightning round. All right. It's going to be 4 questions. You don't know about them, so it's going to hit you. All right.
Yep.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What were you like in high school?
Athlete, very sociable. I got most talkative.
Awesome. Favorite book?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I just read it a few months ago. I highly recommend it. It is hilarious, but it's also very practical.
That's by Gary, right? Or is that?
Mark Manson.
Mark Manson. There you go. All right. So if you woke up one morning and there was 2,000 unread emails or messages, you can only choose 300. How would you check, and what would you do to choose the first ones to answer?
That's a great question. All of the ones that are legitimate human beings. I hate getting junk mail from stores. I usually, if I have to, I unsubscribe after I purchase something because I hate those emails from stores that offer coupons. It's just clutter. So
Oh yeah,
I would choose
definitely.
the 300 from actual human beings, colleagues, friends.
All right, all right. So what if someone wanted to reach out to you and emailed you? How would you suggest that they put it into the format or the little bio thing they look at when you first see an email? How
Yeah,
you would click
so
it?
you know what, Brian, that's a great question. And I had this conversation at a networking event recently. I hate it when people reach out to me asking me for something and I don't have any idea who they are or what their product is. Those blind emails, they're just ineffective nowadays because it just screams desperation. It looks like you just want my advice or my services, and I'm all into networking and expanding my network and helping people if I can. But if you're that desperate, I won't respond, or I'll say in one simple sentence, like, no thanks, I'm all set. Because the whole point of networking, right,
It's to grow
is
relationships.
to build relationships. Exactly. We're here to help each other. We're here to give each other advice and mentor. But guess what? I don't want to just be forced into looking into your products and your sales and all that stuff if I don't know you, if I haven't established a relationship with you. So the first time you reach out to somebody, come in with the mentality of, I don't have anything to ask of this person besides just introducing myself. Check out
Perfect.
my website or something like that, or like, I'm really interested in like picking your brain over a cup of coffee, but don't put a link to your sales page, or you know what I mean, because it just screams desperation.
Exactly, Adam. And our last question. If you had to choose one color out of a crayon box, what would it be and why?
Carolina light blue, that North Carolina Tar Heels light blue. I love that color. It's a specific color that I have. I have a lot of, gym shorts and shirts of that color. I just love how it's subtle, right? It's not too flashy and poppy, but it just makes me feel like calm when I see it. It's a cool color.
So I have a question. Are you a type of guy that's like more into your emotions? Like you know how to control them and stuff? You're really deep with them?
Oh yeah, anybody that knows me, I am a Italian guy that wears his heart on his sleeve. I'm very emotional, always have been. I never hide that, and I think that I was destined to be a counselor because I'm a good listener. That's a skill I worked on over the years. Active listening is critical, but also when I give advice, I'm very open about doing so, and I'll come with an emotional angle. If you follow my Instagram, I put videos and posts that are very blunt because that's the real raw emotion, right? That people need to see.
That's true. The reason why I asked that is because I was in my psychology class one day and we talked about colors and how if you ask someone that's more emotional, that's more like into their emotions, they'll give a color like Carolina blue. But if you ask a guy that's like doesn't really care about the emotions, that's more like upright, they'll be like, oh, blue or red. So
Yep.
that's the only reason why I asked. But guys, Adam, his social media will be at the link below. You guys can check it out. Any other social media, Adam, that you're on?
Yeah, I'm really active on Instagram, Facebook. I'm getting more active. LinkedIn, although like I said, beware. LinkedIn's a lot of clutter, so I tend to avoid long blog posts. I just like interesting business trends.
Yeah,
But Instagram and Twitter are two most active. I post daily on those.
I'm gonna have to get that information from you in a little bit. So guys, thank you for listening to Adam and I in our podcast about business skill trends. I'll give everything about Adam in the link below. Adam, any last words?
No, I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I think everyone out there should have a great holiday season. Spend time with your family and friends, refresh, and then get ready to go in 2018. In the words of Gary Vee, crush it. In the words of
Crush
DIY
it.
Career Guy, own your expertise.
Own it, guys. Own it. Thanks, Adam, for joining us.
Thanks.
I'd be 100% grateful if you guys rated us on iTunes, hit a like, hit a share, do what you got to do to spread the love and the knowledge. Happy holidays to you all, to you and your families, guys. Have a great day. See you next week.